Wayne and Jess for breakfast, and we're joined now by Despina Friala, our Radio 97 resident lawyer, and we thought while we've got you here we could ask you about business interruption insurance. First of all, what is it? Because that's been used a lot at the moment during COVID.
It has, and I think it's an important place to start because a lot of people take out a lot of different insurance policies, not really understanding what it covers and what it provides for. They just take out insurance because it's what everyone does. So I thought that's a good place to start. So what I thought I would do is quote from an insurance company's website directly, and then I can describe what they say is business interruption insurance. So business interruption insurance, continuity of income after the insured property is damaged or lost after a catastrophic event. So for example, cash flow, income, because your business is shut down. So that's pretty basic to understand in that I have a business, COVID, it's a catastrophic event.
Well and truly.
Yes, absolutely, we all know that, has caused me to close my business because the government said you've got to close your business, which happened early in the year. So therefore, if my business is shut, I've got no income, I've got no cash flow, my business is interrupted. So people have taken out business interruption insurance in the past for that very reason, but it's never really a catastrophic event like this has never really occurred, and now we have one this year.
Mm-hmm.
So there have been businesses that have attempted to claim on this insurance policy after the initial COVID wave, if I could call it, where businesses were forced to shut down, and then they've reopened. And they've seen, well, I've lost a lot of income, money, I want to claim because I took out that insurance policy, so I better claim.
Makes
That's
sense.
right.
Makes
what
sense,
else does
doesn't
it
it?
cover in? Surely that's in the policy.
Exactly. So there has been a test case. I love test cases. So it came out last Wednesday on the 18th of November in the New South Wales Court of Appeal, and it was a test case because we had a particular business owner who took out that very policy, business interruption insurance policy, who made a claim, and the claim was rejected. Funny that.
But they never had it before, so I guess we don't really see this. And you read some clauses in there, but you don't always know what those clauses mean. I mean, you know how to read the fine print, but
Yes.
for someone like myself, sometimes you don't know where to start.
That's right.
What
So
happened here?
well, when insurance companies, quote unquote, reject a claim, what they're doing is that they're looking at the exclusion coverage. So every policy has a page or pages, sometimes multiple, numerous pages about, well, this is what we don't cover you for. And people, when they take out insurance, just as a general comment, when you do get your product disclosure statement, you really need to read that section first. What am I not covered for? Don't worry about what I am covered for. Let's look at what I'm not covered for first. I read that page first, then I go and read the other pages. So the exclusions. So the insurance company went to the exclusions coverage page of the policy or section and said, well, actually, you're not covered. And the reason is that there's a section in the exclusions coverage page of the policy that said this, and I have to quote it because it's quite interesting. So the policy contained an exclusion from cover for, quote unquote, diseases declared to be quarantinable diseases under the Australian Quarantine Act of 1908.
Well, that doesn't stay current, does it? Surely for now, because of course we didn't have coronavirus back then.
Exactly. But interestingly enough, that particular act was repealed. So, yes, and had been for some time. So obviously no one with that insurance company had updated their product disclosure statement.
Okay.
Funny that.
So a minor loophole.
Yeah.
Yes, but the insurance company said, well, that's an exclusion cover. And the insured said, well, no, because that's a repealed act. So you can't
Doesn't
actually
count.
do that to me.
Wow, that's interesting. And obviously the court disagreed with the insurance company.
Yes, they did, in a court of appeal. So we are talking again about a superior court. Very, very important. And that's why we call it a test case. And I've said that quite a few times because we talk a lot about the test cases that have come out hot off the press here. And this is another one. And it is in the New South Wales Court of Appeal. So it is a test case and it can be used in the future by other owners, which is what I want to talk about. But what happened in this case, before I do that, is the insured was saying, well, that's a repealed act. You can't use that exclusion cover. And the insurance company said, oh, we mean the Biosecurity Act. which covers the human diseases. So they were trying to be, well, maybe I shouldn't use the word sneaky, but they were trying to get around the fact that they used an antiquated, perhaps a product disclosure statement that had a repealed act in it in their exclusion section, and said, oh, we actually mean a current act. And this is what we mean.
Well, you do now.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
It's all longer
Didn't last
now.
week. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the court disagreed, thank goodness, and that was a 5-judge Court of Appeal that heard the decision. So it's a test case. The insured won, and that person will be able to claim on their business interruption insurance policy.
And what about in future? And any of the past that have been rejected in similar circumstances?
So if anyone, and obviously we're talking this year, and this is a result of the COVID. So if you listeners out there, if you have made a claim on your business interruption insurance policy and it has been rejected, I think you need to go back and look at the reason why. You might be in this very same position that this insured found themselves, where the insurance company used a repealed act and said, well, the exclusion cover had this, we're using this, and the insured said, well, no, it's a repealed act, and they said, too bad. Well, we mean a current act, which is the Biosecurity Act. So, and often insurance companies follow each other, so you might find that what's happened to you is exactly what's happened to this person in this test case. So if your claim has been rejected, I encourage you strongly to go back and have a look at the reasoning, why, and then if it is on these grounds or similar, then you need to go back to your insurance company and say, well, sorry, there's been a test case.
Yeah, and obviously if you point to that particular test case, then in all likelihood you have a much better chance of winning.
That's exactly right. So I will quote the case. And I think it's important because I think the court here did the right thing, in my view, 100%, because we have to look at the construction of the wording in the policy document, which insured people, you and me, we rely on those terms when we enter into the contract of insurance. So it's not really fair for an insurance company to say, oh, well, yes, it's repealed, but we really didn't mean that. We mean the current act. Well, no, if you did, it should have been in the policy.
You've got to specify,
right?
yeah.
So that this is a fair outcome, very fair and equitable, and I dare say the insurance companies are running around changing all their product disclosure statements right now. But it does have a wider community significance, which I think the court recognised because of COVID, because there are a number of people that were affected substantially. So for them to actually side with the insurance company, and I don't think they could anyway because it's not fair and equitable on its terms, that would have had a massive consequence for business owners. So I'm really pleased to see, of course, the court had common sense, and the construction of the particular policy in case here was right. I do agree, but yes, I'm happy to see this outcome for this particular owner and future business owners who may have been rejected. So the name of the case is HDI Global Specialty SE and Wankana No. 3 Proprietary Limited. A big mouthful, I know, but if they want details, they can always ring my office. But definitely, if you've been rejected, go back to your insurance company and say, no, I don't accept it.
Well, you've won cases before when it came to insurers, so you are probably the best person to consult.
Yes, it's not an easy thing to fight the insurance companies. I've done it quite a few times and I've battled with them, and I know how to do that. And most of the time, yes, I've been successful. It's not an easy thing, and the insurance companies, they drag it out typically, and it's very draining on the layperson, even lawyers. You could go on for years and keep fighting. And I think, if I can say, that their hope is that you give up.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, early, because it takes a lot of time and money to fight it, and their hope is, oh, well, if we just perhaps reject it,
they'll just go away eventually.
They'll just go away.
Yeah.
Well, no, you've got to fight for your rights, and that's what we do as lawyers for people.
Keep making that noise. So what's your telephone number if anyone wants to give you a call?
55 291 294. Mobile number, I'm happy to give that during office hours, 0400 141 269. It is a busy time of the year, so it is hard to sometimes get through, so happy to give out that number as well, and they can talk to me, or can ring the office and talk to the staff, and we can help anybody that needs that help in this regard.
Search Priala in Google, Priala. You'll find all the details there.
Yes.
We'll catch you next week, Despina.
See you then. Thank you.